Hello and good evening. This is Doc Severson for the ReadySetCrypto OMNIA trade of the day for Wednesday, the 22nd of September. I'm starting out yet again with the S&P 500 because unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever it is, financial markets are tied together at the hip, and this includes cryptocurrencies and equities and other larger financial products that are out there. We've seen about a 5% move lower on the S&P 500, and you might laugh at that because that's about the volatility that we see in the crypto market on an intraday basis. But it is what it is. This is worth over $30 trillion of value in terms of market cap on the S&P 500. So when it moves, it tends to drag everything else down with it. It doesn't necessarily drag everything else up with it when it does rally though, but definitely when it moves, this is where we get the margin calls, and this is where we get the contagion of risk that spreads out across the spectrum. Now, we have just gotten the Fed meeting policy announcement out of the way 10 minutes ago, and the market seems to be responding pretty well to the upside on the S&P. We're seeing, big volume spike here. Prices going higher for right now. It could end up lower in the next 2 hours. We don't know that just yet. We're also seeing some interesting results here when it comes to things like bond yields. Here's the 10-year note, and actually after the announcement, the rate of the 10-year note has actually dropped from 1.32 down to about 1.3. So this is once again the Fed saying, hey, look, we're not going to be raising rates until maybe sometime next year. And I believe this is also the result of people buying into these bonds, which has a result of depressing the yield. So all kinds of wild stuff is moving across all of financial markets. Everything is all stuck together. So how does this relate to crypto now? So let's go out to Bitcoin. We're seeing a nice rally today, about up 8% off of the recent lows. The best view on crypto right now, or Bitcoin right now at this point, is off of the weekly chart. This is the transition that we're looking for from a downtrend into an uptrend. And again, the fibs are so important at this level. If we draw from the bottom up to the top, these fibs, we've seen almost as much as a 61.8% retracement. This is the 50 period moving average. This would be a 50-week moving average on this chart, showing support down here. And this is increasing, especially the way this candle is being built. This is increasing the odds that perhaps we have found a bottom at this point. And we'll see whether or not we can get the price to squeeze to the upside. It's got a long way to go, though, before it gets up and over 53,000. What's more likely to happen if, in the event we continue going higher, is something like this. We'll bounce higher and then initially scare the crap out of everybody by rolling over, at which point, if this is truly meant to be an uptrend, we'll kick in on the daily uptrend again, up and above 53,000. So what this is also starting to build is a little bit of an inverted head and shoulders pattern, which is actually kind of cool because and I just noticed that for the very first time 10 seconds ago, because what this does is build an upside measured move target, which just might get us somewhere near, I'd say at this point, about 80 to 90,000 for a measured move, which would be outstanding. All right, that's BTC. Looking at Ethereum. Ethereum is also showing the same thing all the way down to the 61.8% retracement and moving pretty strong here today. This is a 12-minute chart, moving real strong, looking really good at this point. We're seeing a lot of assets going double digits. Here's Solana. We talked about Solana over the last couple of weeks. Like, how can you get into this thing which is running away? First of all, again, never chase after these things when they're running away. Always wait for the pullback. Where's the pullback going to be? More conservative is going to be like 38.2, right? Because you're almost going to guarantee yourself the price is going to come down to there. If you want to be more aggressive, however, you could miss the train, is to put something down here at 61.8 or just above $100 per coin. Yeah, it's something like that. But again, we may miss the boat if you've got a limit order down there. But this is Solana. Solana looks to be doing well. Looking at the energy perspective, And looking at the daily chart looks fine. The weekly chart is the one that I have concerns over, and it's starting to break back higher again in terms of energy, but it will take a few weeks before this is really, really technically good to support the next swing. Some of the other coins looking good today. Some of the ones that are up a lot are ones that have been depressed, such as Luna. This one, we've seen things like VeChain. Again, VeChain's down at the bottom. So you're looking for things to bounce off the bottom. You know, you're going to see higher results for today, which is not necessarily the best coins. The better coins are the ones that are going to have a smaller gain in today's environment. Here's probably the strongest one that we have right now, which is Hex, which is consolidating up at the weekly chart level and is still a little bit energy deficient, but this one looks really, really good for continued gains going higher. Again, the rest of the top 20 is looking really good across the board. Markets are tied to the hip, guys. I don't know what else to say here. You know, when things go down in the larger markets, we're going to have contagion, but this is going to give us opportunity to pick up inventory at a lower price. That's it for today's report. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.